Okay, let's talk about how we can help you extend your fast so you can go into a longer fast, get more healing, get more autophagy. So I want to break that down because what I'm seeing from a lot of your comments is so many of you are trying to go into these longer healing states. And I really applaud you. I'm really excited for you. I really want you to go into some of those extended fasts that I mapped out in Fast Like a Girl, but I also don't want you to suffer. So let's talk about how you stop the suffering when you get over into the fasted state. So I have 3 major hacks and 2 concepts that I really want you to think about. Start with the first concept. The first is really to understand what is a fasted state. Because remember that a fasted state is when the blood sugar starts to come down enough that it tells your metabolism to switch over from burning energy from blood sugar and to start burning energy from fat. So those of us that want to lose weight, this is a great place to be because when we switch over, the body starts to burn fat to make a byproduct called a ketone for energy. This switch happens somewhere between 8 to 12 hours without food. So your blood sugar has to come down enough. You have to have enough of a time period for that blood sugar to come down so that you can switch over. And then once you click into this fasted state, somewhere in between 8 to 12 hours, now the trick is, how do we stay there longer? And one thing that you can really, if you can really wrap your head around this, is that you stay there longer by not elevating your blood sugar. That's really, really important when I map out these 3 things that you can do to stay there longer. You literally cannot have your blood sugar rise. This is why when a lot of you ask me, well, can I have Diet Coke or can I have something with NutraSweet in it? Well, we know that actually NutraSweet can spike insulin. It can spike blood sugar. Even though it technically is a drink that doesn't have sugar in it, it can spike those 2, taking you out of that fasted state. So everything we do or eat or drink, because I'm going to go through some things you can eat here, has to make sure that it doesn't spike blood sugar or insulin so that you stay in the fasted state. Okay, so that's the first concept. The second concept that I really want to make sure that you're clear on is autophagy. So autophagy and ketosis are different. Really want you to think about this. When we switch over into the fat burning state, we usually now are in a state of ketosis, making ketones. Just because on your meter it shows that you have ketones doesn't mean you're in autophagy. Autophagy clicks in about 17 hours in the fasted state. So the research is showing somewhere between 17 and 72 hours is where this autophagy effect is going to be at its best. Believe it or not, some people believe that after a 72-hour fast, autophagy, actually the return on autophagy is diminishing. You don't get as great of an autophagy experience. So if you want to stimulate autophagy, you're going to want to get in that fasted state between 17 and 72 hours. And what kills ketosis is blood sugar going up. What kills autophagy is protein going up. So there's 2 concepts that often get sandwiched together. So if we want to extend the fast, we've got to keep blood sugar down. If we want more autophagy, we have to keep protein down. So here are my 3 hacks. Keep you in this fasted state longer. Hack number 1, absolute favorite. I wrote about it in Fast Like a Girl. It's a fasted snack. So a fasted snack is a pure fat bomb. This is based off of research, and now we've applied it to millions of people, and we see that it works, that you can have a pure fat bomb like an avocado, or you all know I'm a huge fan of keto cups, or like nut butter, something that's just that dense. And what a fasted snack will do is it helps you with the hunger hormone, because remember that when you take a fat bomb in, that fat actually can create a chemical reaction in your body that goes up into the brain and turns off your hunger hormone. So eating fat, you can even do this with a meal, is a way to kill hunger, but it doesn't elevate blood sugar, so it keeps you in a fasted state. I have seen this over and over and over again in my clinic, where we would put people in 3-day water fasts to improve healing, and 24 or 48 hours in, they were struggling, we would have them eat a half of an avocado, and that was just enough to let them go to that next level and get all the way to the 72 hours. So don't fear the fasted snack. In Fast Like a Girl, I map out all my favorite fasted snacks. I just told you 3 of them. Okay, I got to interrupt this video because I have a free guide for you so you can master fasting. It's called A Beginner's Guide to a Fasting Lifestyle. And all you've got to do is click here and you can jump right in. Okay, second favorite hack. And this is one that I recommend you do either in coffee or you do in a tea. And that is MCT oil. So there is something really magic about MCT oil because what MCT oil can do is it will go up into the brain and turn off hunger. And it does this better than any other fat that we know. There's actually something specifically, and it's actually, MCT oil, if you're not familiar with what it is one section of coconut oil. So when we look at coconut oil and its saturated fat portion of it, a lot of people are nervous to be doing a lot of coconut oil because it has too much saturated fat. So what MCT oil is, it's only one piece of coconut oil. It's called a C8 oil. And this C8 oil does really well at killing your hunger hormone. So this is why it's really good in coffee. Now, I know a lot of you that go into these longer fasts have asked me, like, can I have coffee? And I'm sort of changing my opinion on this because I really want more people going into the longer fast to get more healing. So it may be that if getting off coffee is the thing that's preventing you from a 3-day water fast, it might be that you need to just put some MCT oil in 1 cup of coffee and you have that every morning of the 3-day water fast. Coffee can stimulate autophagy. If you put the MCT oil in it, it's most likely going to keep you in the fasted state. So, and it's kind of fun to have something to be drinking in the morning when you're doing these longer fasts. So don't fear a cup of coffee with MCT oil in the morning to help you get through a longer fast. Okay, third hack. Now this one is really interesting and I haven't talked a lot about this and I know this is going to open up a big can of worms, but here we go. And the third hack is exogenous ketones. You all have been asking me about, well, could I take some kind of ketone to help me from the outside in to help me go into a deeper fast? And I've been really anti-exogenous ketones. I believe that when we throw exogenous ketones at a fed state, when our blood sugar is high, we're actually putting ourselves in an unnatural environment. So I don't like you eating a meal and then taking an exogenous ketone, but if we're going into a 48-hour, 72-hour fast, what is really helpful often is to take an exogenous ketone. And we'll leave some of our favorites in the links below. And that exogenous ketone moves you into a deeper ketosis. When you're in a deeper ketosis, those numbers are higher. Like, let's say they're at 1.0 or 1.5 48 hours in, your hunger is going to be down, your mental clarity is going to be higher, and you're going to have motivation to stay in that fast longer. So you could literally put all 3 of these together to rock a 3-day water fast. You could decide in the afternoon you're going to have a half of an avocado. You could decide in the morning that you're going to have a cup of black coffee, clean black coffee with some MCT oil. And you could decide maybe midday you're going to throw some exogenous ketones in. If those 3 things are going to help you get from a place of not being able to do a longer fast, where you're like struggling at 36 hours in, and those 3 hacks get you to 72 hours, that is healing. That is still working within the principle. Now, I know a lot of you out there are like fasting zealots and you follow the research and you don't like the ambiguity. And when we look at the research, those 3 hacks aren't necessarily in the research, although the fasted snack is in some pretty cool research. And I wrote about that in Fast Like a Girl. So if you're a Puritan and you're like, no, I just want the best I can get out of the 3-day water fast, and I don't care if I suffer, then get rid of those 3 hacks. But if you are like, I really want to do a 72-hour fast, but I can't give up my coffee, or I get to 48 hours and I'm going to kill somebody or I'm going to pass out, try those 3 things. They really, really work. So we have to look at this as an art. And in an art, there's creation. And what I want you to do is create your own fasting lifestyle that works for you. And those 3 things may be those special hacks that help you bridge the gap between a shorter fast and a longer fast. Okay, so if you love this video, you're gonna wanna check out the next video in my fasting series. I know that fasting helps you lose weight without changing your food, but if you're intermittent fasting and gaining weight, then I really recommend that you look at 3 food changes.